Hey everybody, I'm back, and say I'm back. Hello, and I'll send this out as a tweet. And so I told you all I would be back. There that is. A second. Where was I? Let's see. That was there. Here. There. Copying there. Excuse me. Go there. And go link on Twitter. Excuse me. There. Okay. Raiders. Oakland. Sports law. Legal. NFL. Las Vegas. Okay. Like that. Okay. And boom. Tweet it out. All right. Hey, folks. What I'm right now is I'm going to read this. It's already posted in the description area of this post. When this is done, it will become a blog post on Zenny62.com, the new Zenny62 Media Oakland News Now blog, flagship blog, and 14 other blogs in my network. I'm going to read this to you right now. Hey, welcome everybody. And it goes like this. The title is in Oakland Raiders antitrust lawsuit, Judge Joe Spero's granting motion to dismiss is stupid. Here I read. If the City of Oakland can get a new judge to hear its antitrust lawsuit against the Oakland Raiders, it should do so with all deliberate speed. The current head of the court, the esteemed Magestrate Judge Joseph Spero, is proving he doesn't know anything about the business of pro football, let alone how the NFL works. Because of that, to believe Judge Joe Spero is going to come into the realities of how the NFL works is a pipe dream. Judge Spero remains stuck on stupid. That's the only way anyone can explain his decision to grant the Raiders and NFL lawyers motion to dismiss the case. Reading the 33-page motion is tantamount to a trip down a rabbit hole to a never land where NFL teams are free agents capable of negotiating their own game schedules separate and apart from each other. In reality, such behavior not only goes against the team of rivals under one whip that the late NFL Commissioner Pete Rozelle so carefully established, it purely and simply leads to an economic outcome such that the NFL itself could not survive. With that truism, why the hell would the Raiders and NFL lawyers even come up with such an argument? Simple. They obviously believe that Judge Joe Spero knew very little, if anything, about how the NFL works, and therefore believe they could literally throw up the legal equivalent of a badly tossed salad, and the judge would eat it with relish and whatever dressing he likes. The Oakland Raiders lawyers, led by the legendary Ken Hausman, played the "we know this guy" approach. So what seemed like a snake eyes dice roll of a legal argument turned out to be anything but a gamble. They knew Judge Joe Spero was out of his intellectual league in NFL business matters, and so they could manipulate him any way they wanted to, and they did. How else to explain Judge Joe buying the idea that Oakland would not be harmed by losing the chance? Think about this, losing the chance to build not just a state-of-the-art stadium, but a mixed-use development called Coliseum City around it. But the judge, Judge Joe, working off some cosmic logic that doesn't apply on Earth, or for that matter, the planet Vulcan, but certainly works in Alpha Centauri, oh yes, believes that Oakland fares better with no multi-billion-dollar facility that employs thousands of people rather than with one. Wow. Or how about the idea expressed on page 12 of the motion to dismiss that the City of Oakland, get this, the City of Oakland would have to prove that all NFL teams collectively agreed that all teams would not play their home games in Oakland. The entry, this is the entry. But a boycott or refusal to deal claim requires allegations and proof that multiple entities refuse to transact with the plaintiff. That's the intellectual equivalent of glue sniffing, folks. The intellectual equivalent of glue sniffing, all right? For that to make any sense, require an alternative universe where the City of Oakland, which was itself following the same NFL relocation policy as the Raiders claimed to have done, was directed to seek a new NFL home team to replace the Raiders, right? But you and I both know that didn't happen. The NFL relocation policy was consistently held up as the guidelines for the host city to follow. It didn't mention anything about negotiating, say, with the New York Giants to become the Oakland Giants and replace the Oakland Raiders. What we have instead is the NFL coercing Oakland to jump through its hoops to form a plan to build a stadium to keep the Raiders. If Judge Joe wants proof, all he has to do is read the NFL relocation policy that the St. Louis courts have said is a contract between the league and, in this case, Oakland. There's a giant part of me that wonders if Judge Joe managed to live in the San Francisco Bay Area all this time, all these years, and never set foot into either the Oakland Coliseum or the 49ers stadiums to watch a game. That's the only way to explain that hot garbage of a decision. The only way. Oakland needs to save itself from any further legal damage from Judge Joe Spero. Indeed, for Oakland City Attorney Barbara Parker to allow this to happen is as ridiculous as Judge Joe Spero's stupid decision. You'd figure Barbara had this wired, being the home team lawyer and all, right? I mean, look, on the face of it, if this legal battle is being fought in the Bay Area, shouldn't San Francisco Bay Area judges be more sympathetic to the City of Oakland than to the NFL and the departing Raiders? You would think so. Wow. It's clear Judge Joe Spero is like Baby Huey here, playing around with sports business forces he does not understand, isn't well-versed enough to do so. Oakland needs to put distance between itself and Judge Joe Spero before it's too late. Stay tuned. That's my piece, okay? That's it, all right? John Acosta says, so the judge is siding with the NFL, Raiders in the NFL. And Joseph says, time to retire Bubba. I don't know who that is. But John Akala, basically, yeah. He's giving Judge Joe Spero roughly 45 days until September 9th for the Raiders, for the City of Oakland attorneys to rebut the Raiders' motion to dismiss. Spero says, well, I'll accept that. But they have this much time to file an argument. But the whole point is accept it. I mean, you could have argued that, by the way, the City of Oakland didn't bother to negotiate with the Adirondack dog sledding team to find out if they had a team that they wanted to bring into Oakland to play under the NFL umbrella. That's how stupid, how ridiculously stupid, okay, the motion was, let alone the decision to accept it. All right? Yeah, Cabrera says, wow. Yeah. I mean, this stuff's awful. This is ridiculous. Even more ridiculous is the fact that the media, outside of moi, has done this. See no evil. Speak no evil. Hear no evil. Once again, okay? What's going on with the society? I mean, do you realize that our discourse has been whittled down to Twitter and Facebook? And people write these long notes in Facebook, which they really should be writing on their own blogs, and they think that it's going to be kept there and that there's some law that protects what they write, and there's not, and that Mark Zuckerberg can take it down anytime he wants to. And I point that out, you would say, what does that have to do with what I'm talking about here? Everything. Because the more you write in Facebook, there's no title for what you wrote, all right? There's no title for what you wrote. So it's not going to appear on some other search engine where somebody else can read your brilliantly constructed argument, unlike having your own blog. You see what I'm getting at? And yet the whole of society does this. And as long as it gets a few likes, it thinks it's okay. Wow. I mean, that's the level of stupid that we have descended to as a society. I repeat, that is the level of stupid we have descended to as a society. The whole idea of this media, this digital media trip that we've gone on is supposed to be that you, the producer of the media, were empowered to create your own platforms and control your media. But when you put something on Facebook or on Twitter or on Medium, guess what? Boom, that's not yours. If you have a self-ran blog, even if it's in a shared environment, it gives you some legal control. Ideally, you want to own your own server, or at least own your own hosting space. Okay, your own. I pay for a dedicated server. I essentially have a condominium, right? That I pay for on a monthly basis. That's ultimately what you want. Or you can go to Wix and build your own blogs. And you would say I'm getting way off the track, but I'm not really. We're in a social crisis, folks. It's damaging us intellectually and psychologically. It's making us very impatient. It's making us very much prone to violence in America. It's causing too many people to harm themselves in too many different ways that are unhealthy. And it's producing outcomes that are not for the better of society, including this one I'm talking to you about, where you would have a judge willfully accept an argument that has nothing to do with the NFL itself. Nothing at all. And yet that's what he's done. Cowboy Wrestler writes, if Spero sides with the NFL and the Raiders, will be one of the worst court decisions in the country's history. It will be. And yet, like so much that's happened over the past, 2 years, it'll sit. Oh, and by the way, I remind you that Trump's Department of Justice is still involved in this. And no one other than me and one other person has raised a red flag about it. Hey, it's okay. They've got money. Let them do what they want. It's okay. They're connected with the president. Ugh. Cowboy Wrestler says, unfortunately, I'm fearing the worst outcome. You know, you avoid the worst outcome, Cowboy Wrestler. You get a new judge. Okay. If you think, look, Judge Spero, from what I checked, has not in at least the last 7 years sided with the City of Oakland on anything. So why in the hell should I expect him to side with the City of Oakland in this case? Hold out hope? I have faith in Jesus Christ. I don't have faith in him. So I say the City of Oakland should seek new representation. Why isn't this in Alameda County? We have a federal court. Why does it have to be in San Francisco? Do you realize that when you think about the case of the Warriors and Garrett Wong in San Francisco Superior Court, or in this case, Judge Joe Spero in federal court in San Francisco, both judges have went against Oakland sports. Do you realize that? In 3 years, we've been screwed twice. Unless, of course, this outcome becomes different. All right? Cowboy Wrestler adds, he says, Spero seems to have a certain bias against Oakland. In my cursory reading, and I admit it's cursory, that's what it looks like. Why does this have to be in San Francisco? Why not Alameda? In other words, give us a real home turf advantage. Give us a real home turf. We don't have one. San Francisco is not home turf for Oakland. Has anyone gotten that message by now? Hello, McFly. I'm talking to you, McFly. You got the message now? You know how McFly, the Phillies say, hey, McFly? That's what I'm doing there, okay? If you've never seen Back to the Future, please see Back to the Future. Then when you watch Back to the Future, it all makes sense. Boy, oh boy. All right. It's 2:08 in the East. I'll be back tomorrow evening. God bless you. And God bless the United States of America. And God bless the survivors of the Gilroy Garlic Festival shooting. See ya. Good night. Good night.